Hello, hello, hello. Let me get set up here. I am skipping the whole intro with music. And we are going to get straight into the session today. I'm off work this week. Was at the Pucifer show in Indianapolis last night at the Murat, or Old National, excuse me, and the amphitheater side of things. I was in the very back by the front of house engineer and talked to him a few times. Didn't realize who the fuck I was talking to, and I was actually talking to one of my lifelong heroes. As long as I've even thought about doing music production, he's been involved in as an engineer and 3 out of the top 5 records, most influential records of my life. Didn't even realize I was talking to him. Kind of crazy, but yeah, it was Sean Beaven. And so you know who Sean Beaven is. It's this guy here. He has worked on Pretty Hate Machine. Was the live engineer for 9 Inch Nails between 89 and 94 is what he told me. Before he told me, I'm Sean Beaven. I was like, oh, shit. I knew the name, but I didn't know who the hell I was talking to. And it was him. Doing front of house for Pucifer. I had no idea. Portrait of American Family. He did some work on that album. Antichrist Superstar, Mechanical Animals. On and on. He did Chinese Democracy for Guns N' Roses, and Born Villain, another Manson album, live, Perfect Circle, and needless to say, he's got a deep discography of work, and I was just chopping it up with him, man. We was talking about first of all, I had questions for him because I was just curious about the setup. I was asking him, about the board. He was on what board was that? I got it on my phone. Let me look at it real quick. Had it pulled up on Sweetwater out of curiosity. I want to say it was a Yamaha board. Dang it. I had it pulled up yesterday. Where'd it go? Let's see. I had it on Google. My bad. It was an Allen & Heath board. Excuse me. It was an Allen & Heath D-Live CTI 1500 control surface, mixed rack. Anyhow, I was asking him about it. I was looking at the back of the networking. I was right in front of him, and I was looking at the setup and was asking him about if it was on Dante. I was like, "Is that Dante?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I got an AVB set up at home." Talking about this board here, and we just started chopping it up and talking about how the arrays set up a little bit, and talked about the subwoofers being cardioid. We talked about a few things. We talked about how my theory. I have a theory about I go ahead and I measure a room with a measurement mic. I use Sound ID in here for that, and then I'll copy some of the big changes that it was suggesting to get things more even in this treated room. And I told him about that. I was like, yeah, I did that, but to me, flat just seems mid-forward and harsh to me. It's not enjoyable. I can't really feel creative mixing that way. He's like, oh, I agree. He's like, he said he tunes by ear. I was like, oh. I was like, yeah, the way I go about it. I was just talking to him like I would talk to anybody. Didn't know who the hell I was talking to. Which is funny. So I wasn't nervous at all. It's like, yeah, the way I see it, man. I'll go ahead and, just do the big corrections that I get from measurement that, what tells me flat is flat. And then I'll go from there, and then around 80 decibels and, get a tone generator and then try to make all the frequencies sound even, level, flat to ear, not flat measurably. Measurably is good to go ahead and find the big issues. But after that, just make it flat to ear at a comfortable listening level. And he totally agreed with that. He's like, yeah, I get that. Yeah, flat just is harsh. So we chopped it up. Before I knew who he was, I asked if he did the recent online mixes at the same time as the front of house mixes for what's been released online with this Pucifer tour. And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, how'd you do that? Did you set up a matrix mix? Like right now, I got matrix mixes on here. I got one for the streaming, what's streaming right now. I got one for headphones and, drummer. I got different matrix mixes too for less important reasons. But anyhow, just chopping it up, asking about that. And then, anyhow, watched Pucifer play for a while. Most of that conversation took place in between the comedy set, the Dave guy, and before Pucifer came out to open. And then there was an intermission during Pucifer, and I discussed some things with them some more. I was like, man, I'm just curious. Turner, I was like, what compression emulation you using? Is that 1176? He's like, yep. I was like, is that 4-to-1 or do you got all in? He's like, oh, it's 4-to-1. Like, okay, it's cool. So I kind of guessed that, and that was cool. And then that's when the conversation went a little further, and I started talking about like some of my favorite albums, and he was just talking music. Then he's like, yeah, I worked with Nine Inch Nails between 89 and 94. I'm Sean Beaven. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, so cool. It was a cool night. One of my buddies that came to the show with me, he was a couple seats down, and he was letting some people through, and he stepped in between the seat and got his foot close to the power that was feeding power to the board. And Sean, when we first got there, letting people in and out of the row, and Sean was like, hey, don't do that. It's like kind of yelling at my buddy. And he just kind of froze. And I didn't even know that's before me and Sean even talked. I was like, hey man, he's just making room for people. He's like, okay. He's like, he's not going to step on anything. And he's like, yeah, I'm good. I ain't going to step on it. So it got cleared up. He did yell at my buddy, and it was funny as fuck looking back on it. But anyhow, I just wanted to share that story before I started working on this mix that is mostly done. There's just a few automation changes I want to do after letting it marinate for a while. Listen to it in the vehicle, listen to it on headphones. Let's go ahead and get the main scene going. Primarily, I feel like the vocals need some more automation. And then I did a little bit earlier off stream. Glitched a little scream section here. Nothing major, just a slight change. But now I'm just going to go ahead and just do a little bit more vocal automation on send and returns and effects. Mix it down, start mastering, and get version 1 of a master over to the guys in Better Off Blind and see if it gets approved. So y'all welcome to chime in, be a fly on the wall. Tell me if the mix sucks or not. And just hang out. Let me go ahead and get the stream going on my phone so I can keep up with chat. If anybody's on here. I took some time off this week from work, obviously. Oh, that's from days ago. What is... Yeah, that says live. Well, I ain't been on no 2 fucking hours. That ain't right. What's this? Is this it? Calm down, bud. Got the dog in here. Probably wanting attention there. Here's what we're on now. Okay. Cool, I got this pulled up. And off to the races we go. I'm just going to work, and y'all can just chime in if you want to.
Silent echo for those that
All right, so that's pretty much what I want to work on. Just want to get my bearings here, get familiar with where things are located again. Let's go ahead and hit play again from the beginning. Don't like anything I just did there. Let's go ahead and... I feel like I need the interaction between seeing what I'm doing and hearing what I'm doing. I know some people just are cool with just their ears, man, but sometimes I just feel a little bit unsure. So there it is. I am controlling the bus. Okay. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. Let's see what that automation lane is looking like. Yeah. There we go. We're back to square one. Let's go back to read on that bus. Much rather deal with this blue channel over here into the bus. Put it on touch mode. Which is not much volume automation going on with it, so that's interesting. But let's go. Let's do this. Fucking dropouts. It's alright. Just a little bit of teasing that volume a little bit. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to touch in the verses. There's just some spots that I wanted to put a little bit more dynamic movement on, just slight little half decibel movements, but I can hear it, especially at the beginning of the song. It's like, man, it just comes in a little background and
Close my eyes, but they
think that's pretty much what I was going for with that channel. Maybe this other channel I could put a little bit more emphasis on. Also dynamics, which is the flanger effect channel. Let me find it real quick. There it is. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and put this in touch mode. I can do it at the board or over here, but it doesn't matter. So here's that flanger channel. I like that. I can select it on the screen here, and it will highlight on the board to correspond, which is cool as shit. So I can find it that way easier. But let's go ahead and hit play and play at this channel's volume a little bit more. So it's like it's a parallel effect to the main vocal on the verses. I'm trying to give it a little bit more push-pull going on. Yeah, I think that's it there. Yeah. Let's go ahead and listen to it. So go ahead and put it in read mode and listen to it solo for a second. Very affected. It's a parallel effect. All right, yep. Nothing being too jumpy. The harmony delay needs to be emphasized a bit more. Need some high passing on it, so let's start with that. Some more compression on it. bypass. Not quite there yet. I feel like it needs a little bit more high mid frequency somewhere, probably around 3.5, 4K, something like that. A little wider of a bell. Here in the mix. Ooh, too much. I did too much, buddy. Get out of solo. High pass and low pass. Yeah. I think without doing too much, I'm pretty good with that. I just want to do some minor changes. Just add a little bit more dynamics between the send and return effect of the vocals and on the main vocal itself. Give it a little bit more automated slight variance in dynamics. Emphasize some syllables pretty much. Now let's close the drum folder. Close the vocal folder. Now with the guitars, there is some house cleaning I need to do. Where when I rendered out a parallel of the guitar, that's not it. This is the parallel. Nope, that is not. This one's the frozen one? Yeah, this is it. Yeah. That poppy clicky shit is a problem. Yeah, so to resolve that, what I'm going to do, these are not frozen guitars, those are still processing. These are the parallel processed guitars. What I'm going to do is duplicate it. so I don't lose the automation I have done on it and don't have to redo it. Because I like the volume automation and the things that I've set up. I just don't like how it, when I froze it, it restarted each clip of the guitar, and every time it did that, it had a pop click thing. It's which is buried in the mix, but it's still a problem, and I need to address it. So that's what I'm doing, addressing those problems. I'm curious how. Yeah, okay, that's all there still. Interesting. Huh. So I need to expand envelopes. Go to real-time audio, piss on it. Then I reprocess it. Just throw it in this channel up here. That's a simple way of making sure it doesn't fuck up. But what I have to do first is make these all one clip. So you just got to bounce them in place. Boom, problem solved. Then you can refreeze. Yeah, I'll just refreeze it. Don't even care about the real-time state. It doesn't fucking matter. Sometimes you can make mistakes and overlook it if you don't go through and check tracks again. Sometimes you just won't catch it. So this is something I've caught recently and have made a note of to go and correct. And that is what I'm doing now. Correcting those mistakes. Okay, so it rendered into a fucking stereo channel. Son of a bitch. Undo, freeze. It's not what I wanted to do. I want it to render it's a mono thing. Oh, I guess the other ones are doing stereo, so I guess stereo is fine. Okay, redo. Okay. Just making sure. I'm gonna make this a layer. Okay, damn, quit tripping on me, dude. Get rid of this. What we're going to do is trim this to match here. And drag it up to that channel. So there we go. All the automation, everything else should be applied the same. I can pull back a little, boom. All right. You're hearing delay effect. That's fine. That solved that. So this channel here can just fuck off now. Remove track. So that frozen track is now taken care of. On the right, now I need to do the left side, the same thing. Here's the left. You'll hear the pop and click on it when the clip changes. I need to turn off that send effect. That is disorienting, trying to focus on. How about I just get rid of all these so they're not safe solo. Just turn these all off. Where's that other one at? Where the fuck is it? Oh, this mix has gotten huge. Send and return bullshit. There it is. Analog delay, which is not supposed to be on main. That's a fucking problem. Glad I came to this guitar bus to find some things. We'll put this on. Clip side of things. There we go. There, that's what that's supposed to sound like. Here, you'll hear the clip. Yeah, that's the problem right there. That shit right there. I don't want to refer, because if you undo this, the automation might go away. They need to make sure this issue is not an issue with Studio Pro moving forward. Because I've done some similar things to this already and tried to revert back, and I've lost automation a few times, and that is a no-go. It's just kind of strange how that isn't as reliable as before. What I'm going to do is duplicate track complete, so I don't have to worry about that. There's a workaround here. Then I'll unfreeze it on the duplicated track. So unfreeze the real-time audio. Let's see if it actually works. We'll test it over here just in case it does work. But what we got to do first is bounce the selection. Boom, now it's all one audio clip. Then we can refreeze it, freeze the audio. And let's see if it maintains the automation. I've seen it. Since they've updated it, they may have fixed this. I haven't really tested it since one of the recent updates to see if it's a resolved issue or not, but we'll see. Theoretically, because Studio One used to not have this issue, theoretically they should have solved it and it should just maintain the previously established automation. But maybe it won't once you refreeze. Maybe it is just static again. We'll see. Look at the expand automation lanes. Yeah, you see it fucks it up. Same thing. It loses. So when you unfreeze something, it should maintain the established automation. You should be only freezing and unfreezing the pre-fader effects. Or that should be an option. Only the pre-fader effects, not the post-fader automation. Like they need to make that a more flexible feature. They don't have that yet. So I thought that was something they've had resolved in the past, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Drag that thing up here. Boom. Now we got the frozen track pre-fader with my little workaround there. Let's see, make sure that it sounds good with the other one to the other side. Excuse me, that's the wrong channel. It's this one I want. There we go, yeah. And I have volume automation because it's a parallel on the same amp, just a different drive setting to give it some more edge when I want that edge. See, volume automation up. And with the main tone played with it together, it's like this. Let's see here, it's about to have more edge. It's more about with that parallel of the same amp, same cab, everything's the same. Just a different drive and a different EQ setting on the same amp. Trying to bring out some note definition with that extra dirty, tone, heavy tone beside it. So it's pretty much just bringing out that note definition and giving a little edge or breakup sound blended in on the same amp. It's pretty simple, nothing too complicated, but I really like how that worked out. Yeah. I'll lessen that effect added to that, the format shit. It's just too much. Just need a hint of it. Just to feel a little bit darker and demonic. Just slightly, you know, not so much. Yeah, just a little, okay. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and mix this down. Shit. Maybe I should keep that off. Just get these chains for mastering. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I have all these options when I go to master. So save the session as this. We're gonna go ahead and set up a mastering session of the 2 channel for that. So how we do that is new project. Sure, we'll call it all that. That's fine. We do not want 44.1, we want 48K. All right. Here goes the mastering file. Look at that DAW mode here. We no longer need DAW mode. Now what it's going to do is going to mix that down. Ah, shit. It's fine. We'll update it. It's going to mix it down with this fucking limiter on. I forgot to turn that off, but it's fine. Here, let's go ahead and hit cancel. We're just wasting time here. I want that fucking thing off too. Okay. Go to the session. Yeah, stop getting so damn click happy here. Turn that off. Okay. Don't want that on either. Now, we'll export this bitch. Save. I'll go to the project. me save it as Veins. Mastering 424. Go ahead and close it. And when we reopen it, it should mix it down. I think I put it at this update button, but it's been a while. So we'll reopen it, go to home. There we go. Open the mastering, and now it should just want to update the mix. It's going to ask you, you're going to update the missing file? Yes, I do. Then it's going to go to the session that's currently open. If the session wasn't open, it would just open it as it was saved. Then mix it down as the state you saved it in. Which, again, I'm fucking up because I don't have this at +10. God damn it. Yep. Again, that's an issue. Okay. See, I'm not... Have it done it this way in a minute. And it's showing. I keep forgetting little stupid shit like that. Alright. Haven't mastered a fucking song in fucking months. Because I've been waiting for... for him to be happy with his vocals on this. And he's gotten a few more performances in, and he's mostly happy. Now, I can save this. There we go. And in that save state... I think I can just hit update over here. Update? Yeah, just hit update and it will do the damn thing. It will link it back to the session and then mix it down from the current state that session was saved in. That's how that works. So whatever you're done with the song, you're going to send it off to mastering, turn off what you want off on your faux mastering chain and whatever fucking wild gain shit you have like I like to mix to. Make sure all that shit's off and then it will export it out as the saved mix as it is, and that mix down from start to finish will then go to the mastering page. While that's mixing down, let's see if there's any comments. Nope, nothing. Nobody saying shit. Nothing. All right, cool. Back to business. And as I master, I'm probably going to start with headphones. And I'm probably not going to mix down. I'm going to go ahead and get close to where I want to be on stream. And then I need to A/B. Because the sad thing about being on stream and trying to do proper mastering is you really can't reference things without getting a copyright strike, some other released music. So I like to do that. I mean, I've done that already in and out as this mix has developed off stream, but before it's all said and done, I'm going to have to do that again too. But I'm just going to go ahead and set up the master, do a little bit of moves, and probably be off the stream within the next half an hour, and then let it marinate. And then while off stream, probably do the final adjustments because I have to reference some stuff, dude, and make sure I'm in the ballpark with certain things that it, can stand up next to on a playlist sonically and make sure that it's holding its own still and not falling apart. So that's part of the mixing and mastering thing that you just can't show on YouTube without being punished, which is a fucking shame, but whatever. I feel like instead of a copyright streams making like the entire stream of something no longer valid, I think maybe, so it's fair to everybody involved, if you're doing like training tutorials, if somebody's out here, which I don't do, I just hang out on YouTube. I'm just talking mostly for others, but people who do training tutorials or reviews or reactions, maybe the content that is containing said copywritten material, say the video is 10 minutes long and there's a 5-minute song, and within that 10 minutes of reaction, for just a quick example, they're reacting to a song, it's 5 minutes long, they have a 10-minute video. In my opinion, it'd be more fair if only 5 minutes of that video, the content that is being reviewed, then goes to the creators of that musical content. than the next 5 minutes of them talking, reacting, and giving their opinion, which is then that user's content, that YouTube person or influencer's fucking content, then that should go to them. Go ahead and, instead of being called a copyright strike, just it's a copyright claim. Like, well, we detected you used 5 minutes of our music in your 10-minute or 15-minute video. We're going to reclaim half of, if it's half the video's length, we're going to claim half that revenue off ads. If it's 15 minutes long, well, then we're going to claim a third of that revenue off ads, and so forth. It's not that complicated to solve. Then somebody like me who is doing mixing and mastering, maybe I have a 2-hour fucking video, and I want to listen to 10-second, 15-second clips of other music to reference what I'm mixing. Go take that small percentage that I just use as a reference track while I mix and master, which every fucking mixer and mastering person in the world fucking does. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is. Anyhow, let's see what we got here. I'm going to go ahead and get some chains copied over here. Go with the inserts. This is going to be... Okay. I believe this is pre-fader, post-fader setup. This is post, inserts. This is inserts per track. This is inserts on the master, but okay. So, yeah, I know exactly what I want to do. So, on the track level, I'm going to go ahead, just copy this track. Check this out. Right click. Hopefully this works. I'm not sure I'm not sure it will. So I can't copy the track, huh? Well, if I turn that on, give you an option. Then there we go. With it on, I can copy channel settings. Wonderful. Turn it back off. I had that -5 on the. Okay. Go back to this. And I can't paste them. Motherfucker. That sucks. So I have to actually save it, which I already have it saved. Just curious if that would work. So I need to go to a... Oh, hell. Yeah, okay. I believe that is going to be 5. Yes, that's what was going on. Wonderful. All right. And this is going to be... Now this is going to be slightly different, but it's fine. I'll go ahead and just load this as it was. Yeah, that's not it. We're not doing that. I'm curious what the difference really was. Doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just plop it in. There we go. Turn it on. What are we looking at here?
Close
On that multi-band, I really like just barely making it tickle the bands, which is just kind of just some slight dynamic control. I don't like to get too crazy with it, but I like to take it to extreme for a minute on the threshold just to see what, worst case scenario is if I'm overshooting. So, and it gives me a chance to readjust my ears to see what it's doing, if I like anything it's doing, that kind of thing. Anyhow, I got the basics set up to do some mastering. I do have to do some A-Bing and some serious thinking about some final decisions. But yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think about the song, my style of mixing and mastering. If you're familiar with Sean Beaven, I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. One of my lifelong heroes, so to speak, when it comes to audio production, and I didn't even know I was talking to him until later last night. He's a pretty cool dude about his business, you know what I'm saying? And he was friendly enough to have a conversation about audio to me, and he was nice. So, nice to me at least. Wasn't nice to my friend that almost stepped on the, I mean, he wasn't going to step on it, but he, you know, Sean didn't know him. Sean's probably used to people being drunk and idiots. My buddy knew, where he was stepping. He wasn't about to step on, electric box on the floor there, but Sean was just doing his job, making sure shit didn't, shut down in the middle of the show, and, So I get it. He was like, hey, you can't do that. He was just making sure. But my buddy was just letting people pass through. So anyhow, other than that, it was fucking cool. Fun time. And I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and continue with this mixing and mastering. And I'll see y'all, I don't know, whenever I get back on here.